So I like where you're going with this. Is like because this also speaks to teaching your players the game. Actually, this
Right.
makes the game a little bit easier to digest as a new player or a player who's going to switch gears. Like when you go, certain armies play certain ways because we know these common rules tend to crop up. The tanky armies tend to have, maybe it's
I'll
reroll
give you
saves
a
as
great example. You ready?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, reroll saves. That's exactly what I was going to say. Tilting shields in the combat phase, right? So the sequitur slash more tech guard ability, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That should be high on the list of what tanky armies get. Yep, that's a thing they do, right? That's they shield tilt, right? Adding rend to their attacks? No, 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 no. That
Have
is
you
not what
have
that
you
is not what
seen
tanky
T
armies.
Rex teeths though? And they're made out of T Rex teeths.
Yeah, sure. I got like that's not what that army should be doing. Now
Uh-huh.
you tell me corn is going to increase rend, right? Or you tell me witch elves or daughters of Cain are going to increase rend. Yeah, I'm on board for that,
Yeah.
right? Now getting feel no pains and backup feel no pains, rerollable feel no pains, witch elves, no, you don't get that because you're in the we want to go murder people's faces
Yeah.
section of the pie,
So you're
right?
yeah, so you're saying like there's been some issues that crop up when the sections of that pie, that color wheel of abilities that you get based on the theme of your army. When some of those other stuff comes into your army, we get some conflict points.
Exactly. And by the way, it doesn't like I'm not advocating to like ring fence all of these completely. Okay,
Obviously.
because that leads to a bad design as well, where
Yeah,
everything
homogenization is like it's a different type of homogenization, right? The
exactly. What I'm saying is you need to be more thoughtful about your implementation of these things. Like here you go. I'll give you a good example. Let's talk about the rend thing on somebody like OBR. Okay. All right. Cool.
yeah.
So OBR is a largely defensive phalanxy march in, take
Yeah, it's
space.
in yeah, I mean they're Spartans, right? They fight like Spartans. This is pretty much
Yep, agreed. Big
yeah.
shield. So they like everybody in that army having shield tilt. I'm like, yep, everybody who has the shield, that is, or whatever, being able to shield tilt. I'm like, yeah, 100% that makes sense. I got zero issue with that happening, right? The offense thing of like rend or high rend attacks, if that was limited to like one of their elite characters or their most elite unit that was built more to be their kill unit,
Mm-hmm.
and it was slightly overcosted vis-a-vis other kill units in the game, which is why I don't like. Which is why one of the reasons I don't like comparing units across armies. I know everybody's like,
We're in
oh, but
agreed.
blah, blah, this thing in this army is so cheap. Yeah, because it should be. Like crap
Yeah.
and Beast of Chaos that runs across the table should be cheaper,
Yeah.
right? Because that's its whole shtick.
Mm-hmm.
It puts out cheap bodies that go run across the table and do this stuff. You're going to tell me Beast of Chaos get a bunch of rend? Yeah, I'm on board. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing. They are rust and entropy and the destruction of creation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they burn it down. That's all. That's their entire army mentality. Just burn it
But
down,
if
tear
they
it down.
started tilting shields,
Yeah, they don't
right,
even carry them. like,
I would be like, what are we doing here, guys?
yeah,
Right? Like, it just doesn't make sense anymore.
yeah.
And so I think we
But
just need to be a lot more thoughtful. And when we integrate these units, expect to overpay for them to some degree.
well, Beast of Chaos
Not
is a
wildly,
fantastic.
to some degree.
Beast of Chaos is a fantastic example because it's on both sides of the point you're making here. In that, like, you pay you should, if your army doesn't, if it doesn't fit the theme, your little color wheel, your slice of the pie, you should pay it for if you can get it. It should be at a premium, right?
Yeah.
Like Beast of Chaos, one of his glaring flaws is it just doesn't have traditional anvil units because the whole army 420 blazes it. That's what it does. It wants to burn it down. It wants to run across the table and just smash and tear down the walls. Like that's all it does.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get your traditional anvil backline stand on the objective thing, you gotta really pay for it.
Right.
You know.
Let me answer Luke's comment here, which he said, I do think that feel no pain should be a doc thing. Their devotion overcomes pain. No, I agree. I didn't
Yeah.
say get rid of their feel no pain completely, but like buffing the feel no pain from a 6 up to a 5 up and then allowing the reroll of it, that's where it gets a problem. Like having them because they have a 6 up across the board because they have faith, like fanatical devotional faith to Cain that can sometimes turn aside wounds. Yeah, man, I'm on board for that. That's thematically awesome. But again, they've effectively overpaid for that effect in some way, right, through the costing of the rest of their units,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's minimal, or it being a minimal effect like that. It becomes problematic when they're then able to go like when then their cauldron is putting out +1 armor save. Why? Why does the Cauldron broadcast a +1 to save? I've never in my life understood that. Like, the murder unit, the murder army, focused on murder, built an idol to murder, and has their murder priestess driving it around, celebrating murder, and it broadcasts a shield of protection. When did the murder situation become a white mage? Like, none of that is sensible. Okay? If you told me it drove around and broadcast an aura of +1 damage, or it could make a unit +1 rend, or it could, make a unit reroll hits, or any of those offensive things, I don't care. Pick a thing, right? I would be like, yeah, because that's what edifices dedicated to murder would do.
Whoo! Oh man, you should be spamming some like emotes in chat right now. That was